So this kid comes up to me. We're watching a Blackhawks game in my room. It's literally me, one parent, and all 14 kids. And the kid, he walks up to me, comes to me, he's like, Coach Flip, let me tell you what it takes to be a man. And I immediately turn to the parent, and I'm like, oh, great, wise 9-year-old full of wisdom. What doth maketh real maneth? This kid walks up to me and he goes, so to be a real man, you need with greasy hands to be able to open the pickle jar first try. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I look at the parent and I look at the kid and I'm like, racking my brain of like, I guess that makes sense.
It doesn't make sense, but that should be an Olympic sport.
And then he crosses his arm and goes, that's my physics. And like, he meant to say that's my philosophy, but he says that's my physics so proudly. And I was like, what the fuck just happened to me?
Orgasm noises, go.
Oh, yeah! Welcome to You Hate to See It. My name's Adam.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Nick. We should definitely throw a headphone warning at the beginning of the episode.
This week on You Hate to See It, Adam is still drinking bottles of Arbor Mist.
You act like you aren't going to be doing that for the end of time.
Isn't that shit also like only $8 a bottle in the first place? So
Yeah, and I still have like 3 left. Yeah.
That's all on Sunday when we were watching Snyder Cut. That's all he was drinking. He was just pounding them back.
If you are questioning why I have so much Arbor Mist, listen to the last podcast.
I'm drinking Busch Diesel, so
still love Diesel. It's so much better than Busch Heavy.
Yeah.
I still love the term Busch Diesel. I am drinking Evan Williams bottled in bond.
He's also, don't think that he's classy. He's drinking it straight from the bottle right now.
No one needed to know that, Jeff.
Don't do it on the edited versions.
No one needed to know that. Anyway, we're classy. Drinking Evan Williams bottled in bond.
We're classy drinking this $20 bourbon straight from the bottle.
You shut your whore mouth, Jeff. Yes, it was $20, and it's the best bourbon I've ever had. Go fuck yourself.
You piece of
all right, this is better than $70 bottles I've had. This is the best thing I have ever drank, and I got one for free. So,
I'm not drinking free alcohol like you guys got. I don't do enough cool things in my life to have people just award me alcohol. I don't know what things I'm doing wrong, but for fucking Christ, I'm apparently not doing anything right. Fucking garbage.
It's really fucking good.
I want to drink stuff straight from the bottle now. This is my $70 bottle that I got for free.
Nice.
Well, I paid a $300 subscription for a year, but free.
Nice. I'm gonna stick to my Evan Williams bottled in bond.
Jeff, I'm pretty sure I could smell that shit from here.
Why? Like,
I don't know. I smell something strange that I shouldn't be
Adam,
smelling.
you are over 50 miles away from me.
I realized that, and I smell something spicy like Fireball.
It might be toast.
No, it's like Fireball. I was
gonna say, this is not. Is your house on fire? Did you build your house out of cinnamon
as
trees?
Non-alcoholics.
I need to check this because this is a concerning scent right now.
He's gonna go out there. His dad's gonna be like ramming cinnamon sticks up his ass or something. We also need to trade his dad. We need to switch out his dad's bottle of his super aged Jim
like
Beam
apple juice.
Yeah. No. We just need to get another bottle. Really take the label off and really scrub it down. Throw it in some dirt and then switch them out.
Or we could take a funnel, just swap bottles, just swap liquids.
True, that also is probably easier than
Yeah,
rubbing the label
trying
off.
to forge. Yeah, trying to forge a bottle. Yeah. Look. So I was telling. So the guy who collects bourbon, I was telling him about this bottle of bourbon that was found in a riverbed outside Adam's house, and he's like, yeah, no, bourbons that old are like really good because there was different water. They made it differently. And I'm like, yeah, no, we tried it and he found it in a riverbed. And he's like, wait, you got like, you didn't know what it was? Or like, no. And you guys just drank it? I'm like, yeah. All right.
Is that not the normal way of approaching the situation?
Are you not supposed to just drink random bottles of alcohol that may or may not have been from the 80s?
But yeah, at the very earliest, that thing is from 1998, because that's when we bought.
It's at least a 20-year-old.
That's when we bought the property,
which people will pay upwards of $1,000 for.
Let's go bigger. We buy a barrel of Jim Beam and then bottle it.
I could make the bottles. I can do that. That's the thing I can do.
Yeah, I hope one of them has like a fucked up, like the first one that we use is like the fucking neck of the bottle's like crooked
I
and
haven't
bent.
done it in 10 years. I haven't done glass blowing in 10 years, so probably.
It's the last time you blowed though.
This morning.
Maybe.
He got another box of comics. The last time he blew someone was this morning.
I did get another free box of comics. I did. And I checked 3 issues because Adam wanted one of them out of the box I got. I gave him 2 because the other one was going for $30. Adam didn't want to buy it off me. Are you okay?
I might die. I smelling cinnamon. Like I just smell cinnamon for some reason.
Adam is showing signs of stroke. He is smelling stuff and
he did
stuttering.
Just show signs of stroke.
The second his left side of his face goes real droopy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'll end the fucking thing, but I don't have control over that. So I guess unedited video will just be Adam having a stroke.
Does anyone have Adam's dad's number so we can call him and get an ambulance over there?
We can also just call 911 and give them his address. Like
we could.
And then to end the Zoom call, Nick has to drive 20 minutes here. So there's 20-minute recording of the ambulance showing up, breaking down my door, saving my life. And then Nick has to walk in. And all he doesn't even look at me. He just goes,
I like how you think you're going to survive 20 minutes having a stroke.
Yes.
It's fair. Fair.
But you still won't be a real man. Because you didn't open that jar with grease on your hands.
I did have to deal with an ambulance call today at work, so that was fun.
Past 2 days there's been an ambulance call.
Calling ambulances sucks.
It really is because like while you're talking to them, you're like, so I was talking to the girl who's like, hey, I need you to call an ambulance. And I'm like, all right. And I asked for the information. And then I called the ambulance and I'm like, do I have enough information? Because when Jeff and I worked together, I had to call ambulances quite a bit. And I never felt like I had enough information when I made the call.
Yeah.
I always, so my first job was working the front desk at a hockey rink. And one time some lady ran up to me during a game. Like we had 2 ice sheets. Lady runs out of the rink, comes up to me and she's like, call 911 now. A kid's down. We're calling, like, we need to call the ambulance. And I was like, all right. I called the ambulance and gave them the location. They were like, okay, so what's he doing? Ma'am, I don't know. I called you on the business line and it's connected to a cord, so I can't go see. And she's like, okay, well, what happened? Ma'am, I don't know. A mother just came in yelling at me to call 911. Well, we need to know this information so we can help the ambulance. And I was like, that's fucking great. I wasn't told this information. I don't know what happened. I'm like, can I put you down and get back to you? And she was like, no, we need to stay on the line with you. And I was like, then I literally can't give you any information.
That's like when Jeff and I worked at the track and we'd get a call over the radio. Hey, call 911. And then you'd call 911 and like tell them where to go. And the operator's like, all right, what's this? And then you're trying to like fucking play telephone with the operator and the radio.
Yeah, you now have you're in dispatch using the radio while on the phone. And also the dispatch radio was horrible.
I was just like, there's only so many things that can happen during a hockey game. Like, tell them to be prepared. It's a hockey game. Like, there's a small, like, very serious injuries can occur, but it's still a fairly small list of injuries that happen.
While the fire department was still there, I had a lady come in and she's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Medical emergency," and she's like, "All right, what for?" And I'm like, "While I'm trying to write a report, while I'm doing 1,000 different things that I have to do when there's an emergency." She's like, "Where was it?" And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Where was it?" And I'm like, "First floor. What does it matter to you?" And then she goes to the elevator to not go to the first floor.
These past 2 days we've had ambulance. Like, so the thing about where I work is they have a specific team there, and they're called ERT because they're the emergency response team. Last week, the leader of that got fired for reasons that you can probably put together that involve another person and harassment. So yeah, so he's no longer there, and then there's still like, I don't know, like 8 people on the ERT team. And as security, as Nick knows, we go through first aid and CPR training because we are basically the keep you okay until real trained professionals show up. And no one told us about the ambulance. I was just standing like where I usually stand in the building, and all of a sudden an ambulance pulls up. I'm like, oh, well, that's not great. So I open the doors and like I'm standing there. They're like, all right, where's the issue? I was like, this is a 1.5 million square foot fucking warehouse. I didn't even know you guys were showing up. And they're like, well, we gotta go now because someone passed out is what we were told. And I was like, all right, well, here we go. I just walk into the warehouse and I'm looking around. I'm like, where's the person that passed out? And luckily just one of the supervisors like points over. I go over there. There's not a single fucking ERT person over there. I'm like,
oh, the people that are supposed to be there.
I was like, what the fuck? No one's there. Yesterday, person passes out because they're diabetic. Ambulance shows up. I also wasn't warned about it, but this time a supervisor was standing up front. Not an ERT person though, but a supervisor. Led them back, everything. Cool. Still no ERT person around. Apparently, the guy who was the like supervisor of the ERT was the only one who knew how to do anything because he was in the middle of training them when he got fired. But yet no one knows that us as security are all first aid and CPR trained, so no one tells us. And literally, this dude who passed out because he was diabetic and didn't have enough blood sugar could have been fucking probably awake by the time the fucking ambulance showed up if someone would have just told us. And I was just like, this is wild. Luckily, there was a time last week when the ambulance was called, but I knew about it because I was doing a patrol and I was walking by one of the stations when someone sliced their entire palm open with a box cutter. So nice. I heard the person go, ah, fuck. And I saw just a bunch of, blood squirting everywhere. And I was like, oh, okay. Call 911, fucking apply pressure to wound with gauze, the normal things that you can do with someone who just cut their hand open.
Happy I don't work in a warehouse.
And it's just but getting a no ERT person, why do you have this team if they are just useless?
Jeff, at the track, they were useless.
Yeah, but
granted, they showed up.
Yeah, they were there. They had their own channel on the radio. Everyone knew it.
And some of them were hot.
I think one of them was, if that.
Like 2. There might have been a new one that showed up after that's not important. Let's see.
That's been the epitome of my life lately, is I just work all the time.
Would you guys like to hear a saga that rivals probably the Titanic?
We'll see.
Okay.
All right. So, I got a new tattoo. For the visual podcast, I'm showing it. For the audio podcast, sucks to suck. So I went into the city to get my tattoo. First time, had like 5 hours of line work, whatever. Come back 3 weeks later or 2 weeks later, to get like a lot of shading done and stuff. I am an idiot because I came after work and locked my keys in my car and didn't notice for about 4 hours that I locked my keys in my car. So I had to call AAA.
To be fair, what's better, locking your keys in your car or leaving your car run for 3 hours in the movie theater parking lot?
In Chicago, I would have much rather left the keys locked, because if I had left my car running, my car would be gone.
You don't know that because people might not know that it's running because it's.
That is true. That is true. That is very true. Because that's usually how I end up leaving my car on. Is I didn't realize my car was on because it's so fucking quiet. Anyway, I locked my keys in my car. I call AAA. I get someone out there. Some guy. So I'm standing outside with like a freshly tatted arm, waiting so that way I can get more work done and shit. And I'm standing up on my car. Dude pulls up. And I'm like, he gets out of his car. I'm like, all right, hey, you here to do the thing, to break into my car? And he gets out. He's like, hold on 1 second, I gotta fucking piss. We're like on a side street off of one of the busiest streets in the city. He walks in front of my car, between my car and the car in front of me. I think he's going to the tree just past that. No, this man fucking stops. I hear the zipper. Somehow in the city, I hear a zipper unzip. And I just hear pissing. I just hear him pissing. Now, the car in front of me is a Mercedes-Benz AMG, which is a $200,000 car. This man's pissing on a $200,000 car. And he gets done.
Better that car than yours.
Right. I mean, I would have been concerned about the eye contact that he would have been making, because I was staring at the back of his head just in awe that he was pissing on a car in the middle of public. And he gets done and he's like, all right, let's do this. And he gets my car open. And I'm standing next to him and he's like, and he gets it done in like maybe 5, like less than 10 minutes. He gets it open. And he just looks at me and goes, that's worth a tip, don't you think? I just stare at him for a second as I'm like, because I've never had to have my car unlocked before, but I've known people who have that, and I'm searching the catalog that is my brain of, have you ever had to tip a pickup driver for anything? Like for any road service? This man showed up to my car, established dominance of any relationship that we would ever have in the future. And he's like, think that's worth a tip? And I just look at him like, yeah, yeah, sure. You got a tip once you piss on the Benz. Just fucking leave me alone and don't piss on my car. And I just give him $5.
I would be like, sorry,
he just opens your car door, throws your keys back in, locks your car, and shuts it and leaves.
Well, yeah, if someone asks for a tip, get your keys back, say, my cash is in my car. Oh, sorry, I don't have any cash. You're not getting tipped. Lock yourself in your car, because he can't do anything about it.
Really? Because he just showed that he could get into my car without the keys. Like, he pissed on the car in front of mine, Adam. Am I just supposed to say, he could have asked, look, I'm a non-confrontational person. And when the first time encountering someone, within the first 30 seconds, if they decide to piss in public, they now dominate the relationship. They've won. They've done it. I'm not confronting them.
I bet you the next person that he helped, you went and shit on the car in front of theirs. So
that wouldn't surprise me.
It is a possibility.
So I have a nice little question. It's a Chad question.
I was gonna say, is it from you or is it from someone else we know?
No. It's hashtag Chad questions.
All right.
What are some things that you want to accomplish before you die? Something for me.
Be happy. For like a second. That would be dope.
We didn't brief him. We didn't take him through the show notes, Adam. We had these scripted and we weren't gonna do that. So, have you guys ever seen the video of the dude who has like this small pocket bottle of Captain Morgan, and he sticks a straw in it, and then he just fucking slams the whole bottle because like the negative pressure from the straw makes it go down smoothly? I want to do that with something, but I also don't want to die, and also trying to not be an alcoholic. But one day I want to do that.
I've always wanted to go to Prague.
I'd love to go to Italy. Rome. And
yeah,
Prague's that's a different one. I'm curious, why Prague?
There's just something about Prague that when I think about it, I want to go.
I also want to do Greece. I just like all that mythology stuff, so I'd love to.
Yeah,
I want to.
I think
see those
that's why. I
places.
think just because it does have history, but it's not talked about as much.
I mean, it's an old city. It's got history.
I want to write a script that gets made into a film. That's like a big thing for me.
I want to be in that movie.
That's fine. I'll put all three of us in that movie. Here's what we're doing. We're rebooting the Three Stooges.
Rice. First off, I'm pretty sure those rights are owned, but other than that,
hey, it's Three Dumbasses.
that's a good title.
Well, if we give it like 2 to 3 more years, Nick will be the bald one. So
Curly, that's his name.
My hairline stopped running ever since I started using better shampoo, conditioner, and not 2-in-1 shit.
I've always wanted to be in a shark cage, like with sharks. I've always wanted to do that.
I'm not a big fan of shark. So if all of us were there, like if it was a group thing to go in a shark cage, I would do it. I wouldn't just go do
I'd
it.
go do it. Sharks sound dope.
I'd love to go on like a fucking weekend hunt excursion camping type of a thing, where you go out and like you hunt for your food and stuff. Like that would be cool.
I'd love to play with wolves. Like go pet wolves and like play with wolves in like a sanctuary. That'd be cool.
Live touring, I think, would just be super cool. We could go to places that like none of us have ever been or really ever thought that we would go to for any reason other than do this. You get to spend like a day or two there. You get to do a show. We get to actually meet the people that listen to us, which I'm assuming are all going to be also degenerate fuckheads. But
It's gonna be like an '80s rock concert.
We're gonna end up having groupies.
with way less people and way less music, because none of us are musically inclined.
But way more drugs.
Yes, but way more drugs and alcohol. We'll start off in Washington, and we'll just do a shit ton of crack and go out on stage.
We should also play music during our tour. Do any of you guys know how to play instruments?
Oboe. I play the oboe.
No, I don't. I never did anything with band except for being forced to play the recorder in 5th grade.
We never did that. It was never something I had to do.
You also
was play
probably
the
never
fucking recorder.
You also probably never had to do the full fucking square dancing for PE bullshit for no
No,
reason.
we did that. We did that.
Okay.
We did
That
that.
wasn't
I
a
know how
public
to
school versus
Oh
private school
boy,
thing.
oh, do I know how to square dance?
I know how to do all of the dances because we spent 2 weeks on every form of dance.
So did we.
Yeah, they made us learn how to do fucking dancing for 8th grade graduation.
We did bowling in PE.
Oh, so that was an elective for us, but
It was, but it wasn't. We didn't go to a bowling alley. They just put red tape down the gym floor, put a line to where you weren't allowed to cross, and you set up pins. And every time you knocked them over, you got to walk your happy ass down there, put them back up, and then the next person got to go.
who remembers line tag? Did anyone play line tag?
Yeah, I
So,
think I remember
so
that.
because
It might have been called something different, but it doesn't sound familiar.
So in elementary school, we had all the different like basketball courts going like the full size one plus the ones that like we had 3 going that were half the size going back and forth.
Yeah, they're
And
like half
so,
courts, but they both have baskets type of a thing.
and so you could fit 3 of them on one normal size basketball court. So we had all of the different lines on the court.
Yeah.
So what we would do is we would walk along the lines, like fast walk and stuff, and play tag. But no one could leave the line. You can hop from one line to another, but like if you stepped off, you were out, and like you had to stay on the line the whole time.
See, yeah, no, we never did that, but we did some stupid shit. We did some like, you guys, I'm assuming, did like the 4-corner dodgeball thing where like you separated it.
That shit was lit.
Around
That
the
was
world.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was called Around
That
the World
was
at
awesome.
one point. Yeah, we did stupid shit. We did archery. That wasn't stupid shit, but that was fun.
In middle school, we did floor hockey constantly. And I remember one time I went and, like, first of all, everyone wanted me to play goalie. And I was like, I can't, because, like, I injured myself during it because I tried to actually play like normal goalie. And that's not how you play floor hockey. And I hurt myself. So I would, like, play out. And at one point, I got the ball, and we weren't allowed to slap shot. So I took a wrist shot, which most people just kind of whacked the ball around, and no one actually knew how to shoot. I did a wrist shot, and the puck went over everyone's sticks, between everyone's legs, and kept going up and pelted the goalie in the chest. And it was one of the greatest experiences of my life because it was some girl that I hated, and she just collapsed to the floor crying.
I had this really cool time when we were playing kickball inside for some stupid reason where I completely hurdled a standing human being. And then that was probably the peak of my athletic abilities. And then honestly, my life kind of went down from there as an athlete. So that was my senior year. And then I went and played college football and got injured like fucking 4 times.
I kind of feel that. The peak of my athletic career was junior year gym class, where we were playing baseball out on the football field, and I fucking nailed the play. It was a fucking.
Are you telling me you guys didn't have a baseball field?
That was meant for baseball.
Real baseball?
Yeah,
but baseball and PE had to be played on the football field.
Yes, because we had like 3 games running at the same time. So I fucking hit it, and that thing's gone. Like, I'm making it to second base, and it's still going. And like my team's cheering me on. Can't remember this kid's name, but this fucking track kid, fucking literally, it like I hit it left. He was in the right field. The left fielder saw it and gave up. This kid literally runs from one end of the fucking field to the other and dives for the ball. And I'm just standing there between second and third, just like, you fucking serious, bro? What the fuck?
I had so I hurdled someone my senior year, and then that senior year in track, I started the indoor season. I didn't get to start until the prelim going into this, like the one that qualifies you for the state meet of indoor track. I didn't get to practice or anything until that day. And I was scheduled to do all of my events, which was long jump, triple jump, the 400, and the 4x4. AKA, Jeff no longer gets legs for the next week and a half. Failed at triple jump because I had nothing set up or ready to do that. And my legs were not ready to fucking propel my life. Long jump failed at also because it's the same fucking thing with 2 less steps. And then the 400 comes around, and we're looking at the timesheet of the people who already qualified, and I'm in the last heat. And my coach goes, well, you haven't practiced or anything, but if you can beat this kid's time, you can be in the top 12, and that'll put you in the indoor meet. And I was like, I'll try it. I run. I finish like 3rd in my heat, and I come over. I was like, oh, God, that fucking sucked. And I'm like dying, obviously, because I'm out of shape. And my coach goes, yeah, so you placed 7th in the overall of everything. I was like, oh, that's neat. And then everything went downhill from there. I went to state as an alternate for the 400, but the reason I didn't get to go is because in my sectional that leads into actual state meet, we had a kid who ran an Olympic time, and another kid who ran literally slightly faster than me. And the kid who ran the Olympic time, there's nothing more defeating than just busting your ass, and that guy finishes 60 meters ahead of you. This dude ran like a fucking 47, and the rest of us ran a 51. Like, it's just fucking awful. Like, we were all just so defeated. And then, then I got injured like 6 times, and just my body doesn't work anymore, and here we are. High school was a garbage time.
Awful.
I didn't mind it, but also at the same time, like, looking back, like, garbage.
I peaked in high school.
Same.
I'm still looking for a peak.
It might have happened way earlier, my guy. You just haven't seen it.
Nick peaked at birth.
I think that was the first low, actually. That's all. That's really
to most people, yes. For most people,
really
yes. But it was your highest.
To be really fair, the moment of your birth is the best moments of your life, and it only gets worse from there. Anyway, thanks so much for listening, guys. If you would like to subscribe anywhere to us, we post clips on YouTube, and you can see some of those. Nick,
do we?
Oh,
do we though?
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick,
do we?
Yeah.
Do we?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Nick gave me a weird look, like I was like he.
We do.
I know we do.
No.
I know
no. There's a weird 2-week period where we seem to not do that.
I also know Nick stopped posting on Instagram, but anyway. So if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube to watch some funny clips, please do so. We are available wherever you listen to podcasts, and if you go to Podbean, if you really want to, and you want to get more content out of us, please go to our Podbean website, and in the top right-hand corner, there's a little green button that says Become a Patron. When you click that, we have lots of tiers. It's like Patreon, but by Podbean. So we have different tiers that you could subscribe to for anywhere between $1 and I think $15 or $20. And we'd very much appreciate at the $3 level, you get our unedited video versions of this podcast. So to see all of our stupid shit in full, there you go. That's how you do it. We are available on all forms of social media, at least the ones that matter. Follow us on all social medias. You can search us at YOUH82CIT on Twitter, and for all other forms of social media, just search You Hate to See It, and you'll find us. Look for Chad. He's the most recognizable mascot on this earth. And if you think I'm wrong, I think you're wrong, and that proves that you're shit and I am better than you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Is that not what we're going for? Was that too hard?
I was just waiting for you guys to do your ending thing.
So.
I don't. I'm Jeff. I don't do an exit thing on this, but I'm Jeff.
We are professionals. No, wait. No. Yes. You're
okay,
professionals.
Bye!
We're not.
I mean, everyone needs to know about big dick energy, though.
I mean, I like learning about the clit, so it's fine.
Well, it's a myth, so it's not real. So I do love learning about conspiracies. And
I am a big fan of cryptozoology.
I love the unknown.